If I had the chance to be with Thor, I'd make him my above as he me flying. I'm afraid of too much with him because I might become addicted to it, but I know he'll make it worthwhile.
You're a goat.
I don't even know what kind of sound goats make, but
they go meh.
Hi, Bim.
Hi, Nicole.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm pretty good. Yeah, can't complain.
Good.
You know, nobody would listen if I did.
I mean, that's a solid reason not to complain. That's fair. But, you know, also it's been a very busy week for us. Mm-hmm. And that was followed by then a very busy weekend.
Yeah, and not just like our personal lives or whatever, but, you know, Thursday Kit was out there.
We were out there.
Part of the reason why we were out there is because it was the New York Comic Con this weekend.
I love New York Comic Con. It's my favorite.
I know.
It's the best weekend. If you like anything even vaguely nerdy or geeky, it is exactly the spot that you need to be at. And we were out there, press passes in tow, doing nerdy stuff. And we started off by going on Friday night and having a full-on live event.
With Sci-Fi Fangirls, the podcast with Cher and Preeti, and it was awesome. Such a good time.
They're just so much fun. They are these incredibly unapologetic nerds. They know everything. They love everything. I mean, except for what they hate, obviously, which is all of us. But they are so good at just kind of like picking the threads of things that matter in fandom. And I'm really glad that we got to do a whole actual event with them in a whole actual venue with actual audience people. And it was great and fun and funny. And we laughed a lot. We yelled a lot. We had the best time. It was really the best way to kind of kick off our Comic-Con.
One of the best parts is that we had our Michael B. Jordan cutout on stage with us. And my favorite, we had a cutout of Keanu Reeves on stage as John Wick.
Yes.
And the gray Henley, and he's all dirty looking. And then it's like a cutout of him in motion when he's walking towards at the end of John Wick 2, Chapter 2. And so his little pigeon toe, you can see it. It's all obvious and slanted in. And I love it so much.
And his hair is long, which is another Nicole kink.
Yes.
So it was a very good cutout. I wanted to leave her alone for a little bit with that cutout, just so she could talk to it. But yeah, we also had our MJB cutout, which if you came to the Creed Thirsty Movies event at the Alamo in Brooklyn, you would have seen it because he was right there, startling passersby by just being this glistening, shining, incredibly ripply, just nice to look at. So yeah, we had a really great time.
We had a fun drinking game that was really silly. Everybody had to drink anytime I said
in that particular tone.
Right. Every time I give a little grunt.
Yeah.
And every time, Bim, you went full Nigerian auntie.
Yes. Every time I even had the thought, what is the meaning of all this? That was a cue to drink. And of course, Cher and Preeti also had their own little isms and tics that they end up relying on. It was very fun. So anytime you hear, you know, someone yell, drink, that's why, because there was a game in play for those who were present.
And we bring up the drinking game and kind of prep you for that because we're about to play a clip from the live show, just a little bit of it. You can go to Strong Female Characters, which is the podcast from Sci-Fi Fangirls, to hear the full live show, which is up already. But we're going to play a little clip from you. So if you hear us go drink, that's why. And it's a fun little clip. I like it.
I love it. I think we had a lot of fun. And I think also it really kind of boils down truly just how nerdy so much of my thirst truly is. There is a bit regarding a character from a book that I was enthusiastic, I think is the only word I can use.
That is an understatement.
I feel what I feel, Nicole, okay? My thirsts are literary. And I was very happy to get the chance to really kind of go full nerd regarding this very specific man.
All right, biggest thirst traps in genre, meaning sci-fi, fantasy, anything that's not real, ever.
Okay. Maybe you'll feel me on this. I'm going to go back a little bit. 10 years
I'm ready.
ago, around about, True Blood.
Oh!
Okay, but this very specific scene where Eric is high on fairy blood, and he's in the lake naked, and then Sookie comes, and then Alcide is in like his werewolf form. He's in the wolf form, and then he stands up, and he's naked, right? Because he just transformed out of the werewolf thing. And Eric is in the lake, and he sees Alcide next to Sookie, and so Eric is mad. He's like, "What? Hey, you dog! Get away from her!" And then Alcide. Okay, I have to demonstrate. Alcide calls him a fanger, and then just like grunts. He grunts, and like his chest rises.
We are getting an excellent demonstration right now.
It is the hottest thing because you have this naked, bare chest, and then the two men are just posturing. They're not really fighting over Sookie, but I mean, they're kind of fighting over Sookie.
Are you also from Jersey?
No,
okay.
But I'm from the South, right? So, I'm
Jersey
used to
is the South of the North. So.
The whole, defend the woman's honor thing is very important, and all that crap. So to see that in that moment, these, Eric is in the lake naked, right, and wet. And Alcide is on the bank.
Why did your voice drop 6 octaves? And wet.
We know why.
And Alcide is on the bank naked and sweaty because it's Louisiana and it's hot. And it's just a lot. And Sookie is fully dressed. I'm here for a fully clothed woman and naked men. And I think we need to see that more often on TV.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, Sookie! Where have you been? Come play with me. It's wonderful here. I am Egir, god of the sea. And you are Ron, my sea goddess.
There's big gators in there, you crazy Viking. Get on out and let's go home before one of them chomps off your you-know-what.
Leave the son to the water. Nope. I'll just kill all the sea monsters. Gators. Crocodiler! Show yourselves! Cowards!
He really is different.
Get away from her!
Fuck you, she wants me here.
Eric, this is Alcide. He's our friend. He's gonna help you. You don't want to fight him.
Yes, I do. I'm prepared to die, you stinking dog.
Take a shot, you dumb shit fanger.
Grow up, you giant babies. Alcide, stop making that noise. Eric, put up those fangs and do what I say.
All right, so all-time biggest, thirstiest moments, right?
Yeah. All right.
I mean, we'll get to this, trust me. The entire episode, well, not the entire episode. So who here is a Battlestar Galactica fan? Okay, that's unacceptable. And fix your fucking life if you're not a Battlestar Galactica fan. Okay, so there's an episode called Unfinished Business. Mm-hmm. And Apollo and Starbuck are fighting.
She said yes.
They're basically fucking in a ring. It's amazing. Then you find out that they did have sex, and like you want them to have sex the whole time because they're awful for each other, but they're perfect for each other because they're kind of the same person. Anyway, that's like. They're all sweaty because they're beating the shit out of each other. Oh, my God. And there's, like, such a fine line between beating the shit out of each other and, like, really good sex. Sure.
Yeah.
No.
All right.
I respect how much violence plays into your thirst moments. I respect that, though, because,
Listen, I will be honest. I might need therapy. Just going to throw it out there.
I mean, that's always a good idea anyway.
It's just really, like, animalistic and raw, and they're both so hot because, like, they're just both hot. You'd want to have sex with either one of them anyway.
That's real scientific then.
Yeah. It's just, sometimes science just, it is because it is.
Yeah.
Right.
Right? You have to, like, disprove the theory.
Right,
So you have
right.
to disprove that they're hot. And you can't, because they are.
Right.
I didn't do well in science, by the way. or school.
That's Dr. Cher Martinetti right there. PhD.
So yeah, that episode, that moment of that episode.
I'm laughing really hard because mine is so quiet in comparison.
So Peter Parker?
No! The first thing I thought of was Aragorn.
Yes.
And the moment that he
yes.
his face is lit up under the that's
yes.
it. That's it.
Bitch,
What?
yes.
It's
What? No.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yes.
Tell me, what is this?
It's this moment.
Yes.
Thank you. It's a
Yes.
moment. It's our introduction to Aragorn, and he's in the back of this bar where the hobbits are fucking about.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
This
He's
is
got the hood on.
He's got the hood
Yeah,
on.
that's
and
hot.
He inhales in this pipe, and the embers light up, and you see his face.
Oh,
Yes.
interesting.
It's second only to the moment where he bursts through the doors.
Yes. Oh my God, yes.
Lord of the Rings is peak Vigo.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Listen.
Yes.
I read those books when I was a teenager, and I'm telling you, Aragorn made me a woman. Like,
Aragorn did that. Viggo Mortensen did that for a lot of people.
Okay, so I loved Aragorn. I thought great book, great character, etc. Fine. When they first cast those movies, he was to be played by Stuart Townsend.
Yes. What?
One of the worst, almost was. And then Viggo Mortensen, like a fucking hero, stepped into the breach.
He stepped into the breach.
The breach, bitch. And then he
He
proceeded to light up my life. What?
the door.
What?
The door.
When he pushes the door with
Pushes
both
the
arms,
door. I can't
I threw my ticket stub at the screen.
drink.
Drink. Whew. I'm telling you, Viggo Mortensen. I mean, and then years later, Eastern
And he's
Promises.
also the only person ever to make Elvish sound hot.
Yes.
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 Because it's not sexy.
Listen.
Yes.
There's
Oh my
nothing
God.
sexy about
No, there's
elves.
nothing. It's horrible.
Yeah.
But Viggo Mortensen was like, hold my beer.
Why are you saying this? I'm mortal. You are elf kind. It was a dream, Arwen. Nothing more. I don't believe you.
And then
Also, he, not to be a downer, but
No.
he has horrible taste in jewelry, that necklace. What's
The
her
even
face?
star.
Yeah.
It's
just
the even star.
It's stupid.
So anyway, back to Aragorn.
Call you.
What's your thirstiest?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Sorry. Let me move
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
I was so consumed with Aragorn lust.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. Again, I have to do this because it's just in my DNA. But I gotta say, one of my thirstiest moments of all time occurs in episode 12 of season 6 of The Walking Dead.
Yes.
When Rick reaches across and holds onto Michonne's hands when he hands her the mints. Bitch, yes. And the reason that works is that Danai Gurira and Andrew Lincoln are so individually hot that when they come together, a star is born. And that star is my thirst. Because my mouth is full of saliva. One sec.
Oh. Got you something.
Is this instead of the toothpaste?
Well, I do have a crate of toothpaste for you. It's currently at the bottom of a lake.
Oh, so you had a day.
Yeah. All on account of your dental hygiene. Have your mints.
There's actually another moment in The Walking Dead, and I don't remember what season it was. It was before I had enough of this shit with that show, where they're on the farm. They turned like the jail, whatever, into like a farm, or like they were living in the jail. And there was a tower that was like how they were watching out, doing security. And Glenn and Maggie have sex in that tower. And I'm pretty sure before they started having sex, Glenn had on a Henley with his sleeves pushed up, which
He did.
Which is
It's a good look.
catnip.
If you don't know, a Henley is the sexiest
It's
shirt.
the sexiest shirt.
It is the sexiest
really is.
shirt.
Yeah.
But it has to have the sleeves pushed up.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay,
not all the way. That's nerdy.
No.
I
But
have
not in a
And
good
it's
way.
science. It makes a guy at least
It's science.
75% hotter.
Science
least.
and math.
Yeah.
I have a
Both
I have
very
a,
good subjects for me.
A more chaste one.
right.
I'm shocked.
It's not chaste. Well,
There you
maybe.
go.
Okay. The Flash on CW. Right? Okay. So Barry Allen, at one point, he's like lost his memories because of something, and Iris is trying to help him out, and she's just like, "Oh, hey, we're here. This is our house." And Barry wants to kiss her because he knows that that they're a couple and everything. And he walks up to her and he's like, "Is it okay if I kiss you?" But this is all like very silently communicated, right? So she's like, "Yeah, it's okay." And then they kiss. Oh, before that, let me say, Barry can't access his powers at this point. He has no
Lol,
memory.
what
He
a
can't-
metaphor.
Right? He can't zoom about. So then he approaches Iris, "Can I kiss you?" She's like, "Yeah, it's okay." They kiss, and then his power comes back, and his hand starts shaking really, really fast, and then he zooms around the apartment, and he's like, "Whoa, I love that." Yes, I love it so much.
I love when subtext becomes text.
I remember the first time that I saw you. You were the happiest boy that I'd ever met.
I have a feeling that's because you entered my life.
It's okay.
What the?
It's so good.
It's so good. I took my phone and recorded the scene on my phone. I still have it. I can look at it. It's so ridiculous and lovely and sweet.
Recording
I love it.
your TV with your phone is the equivalent of recording a song off the radio with a cassette tape.
Yes.
But that reminded me, one I didn't even write down. Misfits.
Yes!
Simon! And oh my God, because I did that shit with that scene. Holy, that you saying that, I was like, I remember doing that. I was like, this is the hottest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Oh my! Wait, which scene are you talking
When
about?
the time travel Simon.
Yes,
Simon and
no,
Alicia.
And Alicia.
The actual
Yes! Yes!
Listen,
Oh my
listen.
gosh!
You know when they first revealed that's the dude is future Simon? I remember that was one of the few times I remember throwing my remote control like, bitch, what?
Yes! Because you're like, that kid was the worst and
The
so
worst.
weird. And
Barry.
then it's like,
They
why
really
am I
redeemed
so
his character.
attracted to
I'm
him?
telling you,
Yes.
when TV does what it's supposed to do,
Yes.
listen, there's no power greater on earth.
It's true.
None.
Okay,
No,
can I say
mountains.
something really okay, don't judge me.
No.
Okay.
We haven't judged Cher, so you're fine.
When the big reveal happens, and I
You kinda
apologize
have.
if you haven't seen it because this show is 10 years old
Yeah,
now or
it's-
something? Okay.
yeah.
When the reveal happens and we see who Simon is, and he's in the shower. What is
That
my thing
shower.
with me in the he's in the shower.
Yes,
No,
he
it's
is.
It's a
And
good
he's
shower.
so
It's a great
pale.
shower. It's a great
He's
shower.
incredibly pale. He's the whitest man who
he
ever
is
It's like
lived.
so
the same color
pale.
of the tile
Yes.
behind him.
Yes. But I like it
But it
because I'm
doesn't
like,
matter.
oh, that means the marks will show up better on him. So this is a safe space. This is a safe space. This is my thirsty truth.
NC-17 episode. Is that a rating on iTunes?
No, this is still like PG-13.
It is.
We
It
don't
is.
know where the marks are coming from. But the point
you okay?
is, that whole moment is incredible. Simon and Alicia forever.
Oh my God.
Forever.
Like, literally, it is the hottest thing I've ever
Yes.
seen on
It's so
TV.
hot.
Yes.
It's so hot.
How's your head?
What the fuck is going on? Since when did you run around jumping off buildings?
Ever since I travelled back from the future.
Really, did you?
Yes.
Seriously? How does this work? There's two of you.
There's a Simon you know, and there's the future Simon. Me.
Hey, Thirst Buckets, the FabFitFun Fall Editors Box is here. FabFitFun is a seasonal subscription box delivered 4 times a year with full-size fashion, beauty, home, fitness, and wellness products for just $49.99 a box. The Fall Editors Box includes a Hava Mineral Hand Cream, Glam Glow Bubble Sheet Masks, which were my favorite item in the whole thing, Silo Cobra Bluetooth earbuds, which I love because I've been using them to listen to my iPad when I don't want other people around me to know what I'm watching. And the Summer and Rose Britney tote, which I am using today. I absolutely love it. My favorite part of the FabFitFun box is that they give full-size products, like big bottles of stuff. I don't have to scrape out a small sample size of anything. I really like FabFitFun boxes because other subscription boxes sometimes have products that I cannot use as a person of color. And there's always something that I can go out and buy again. So I really do feel like they put me onto new products that I enjoy. And I highly recommend you go out and get a subscription. Sign up for FabFitFun today to get your Fall Editors Box. The FabFitFun Fall Editors Box is in limited supply, and these boxes always sell out. Use our code THIRST at fabfitfun.com to get $10 off your first box. That's over $200 for only $39.99. Sign up and start getting the box for a life well lived. Go to fabfitfun.com and use our code THIRST to get $10 off for your first FabFitFun box. Look, life is so hectic. You know, everyone is rushing to get to work, or if you're a part of the gig economy, you're rushing from freelance job to freelance job to freelance job. And sometimes you don't have time to get anything good and healthy to eat in a timely fashion. That's where Daily Harvest comes in. Daily Harvest delivers perfectly portioned cups of frozen organic fruits and vegetables directly to your door. All you have to do is add water or maybe like your favorite oat milk or something, and then just blend it or heat it up. Daily Harvest new savory harvest bowls are an amazing healthy dinner that's faster than ordering takeout on any day. I tried the chickpea and za'atar harvest bowl. It has a Middle Eastern mix of cumin, coriander, sesame seeds, sumac, thyme, and it's really savory. I thought it was going to be kind of like a more of an oatmeal kind of thing, but it was actually like it was a full dinner meal, and it was really good. And it's so simple. It's much, much quicker than trying to figure out what you're going to order on takeout. Go to daily-harvest.com and enter promo code THIRST to get 3 cups free in your first box. That's promo code THIRST for 3 free Daily Harvest cups at daily-harvest.com.
So I hope you enjoyed that clip very much. I know we had a ton of fun. At the point at which Nicole is standing up to describe the scene from True Blood truly is something that was a treat for the eyes as well as the ears. You may have heard the mic kind of go a bit AWOL. That was when she was pushing at her chest like Alcide. So and then she caught herself. She's like, wait, this is for radio. And then she put it back to her lips. But she was full on acting out this scene between Alcide and Eric and Suki. And it was truly a sight to behold. That was great. But you also may have noticed something that I said in that clip as well.
Right. You talked about your favorite, The Walking Dead, specifically Michonne. Rick and Michonne.
Rick and Michonne. Now listen, the show is back now. It's back for its 9th season. It's the last few episodes for Mr. Andrew Lincoln, or Andy to his fans. Let me finish. Please.
It's so personal.
I love him. But that scene that I mentioned, actually I was wrong I was so enthusiastic I got the episode wrong. It's actually episode 10 of season 6, not 12, 10, called The Next World. I wrote about it on BuzzFeed.com, the website. But I was so consumed by my love and deep thirst for both Andrew and Denai, aka Rick and Michonne, that I couldn't let it go. So I went later on that evening as part of Comic-Con. I went to Madison Square Garden, this 5,000 capacity theater, and they had their panel for The Walking Dead for season 9.
Yeah.
And they had like a bunch of exec producers. In my opinion, only 2 of them needed to be there. That's neither here nor there. But then they also had the cast members. So it was Andy's basically his farewell. It's his last.
Right.
Because he's leaving. He's no longer Rick Grimes. I don't know whether they're going to kill him or whatever, but I think he's dead. He's gone.
Will the show go on without him?
The show apparently will go on. I, however, will not.
Okay,
I'm
fair.
truly there for Rick first, then Michonne. And I'm sorry, I love Denai, but she needs to get the hell out of that show also as well, in addition. But Andy is leaving. Rick is dying, apparently. And I had to pay my respects. So I went along to watch the panel, and they showed the first episode, and Andy was there, and all the castmates were kind of heaping praise upon him because he's a great guy and everyone loves him. And then afterwards, I hung out with two very special people talking about the allure, the joy, the wonder of both Andrew Lincoln and Rick Grimes. And what a conversation it was.
Interesting. I'm intrigued.
Please be intrigued. It was great. Okay, so I am currently outside Madison Square Garden. It is the third day of 4 days of Comic-Con in New York. And I have just left the Walking Dead panel, which obviously had my husband and yours, Andrew Lincoln, and my wife and yours, Danai Gurira. And I am now standing outside Madison Square Garden talking to two lovely superfans who were flown into New York specifically for this panel. You may know her. I've written about her. She's called Ashley, aka Cake by the Pound. She writes the most exquisite Rishon fanfic. And I also have Kia, who is the co-host of the amazing Walking Dead podcast called Two Dead Chicks, which is a great name and it's a great podcast and you should listen. Hello, friends. I have a question. Why exactly did you come to Comic-Con this year, Kia?
Well, I came because there were two people here. One, his name is, I think it's Andy Lincoln. The other one, her name is Danai Gurira. And together they form this thing called Rishon. And it's a superpower, and I needed to bask in its warmth and glow one more time.
Beautiful, beautiful. And Ash, why are you here?
That was an excellent answer, and I'm going to steal it for the exact same reason. And also because this is Andy's last year at Comic-Con. This is last season on The Walking Dead, and I just wanted to be here to say goodbye.
So, now you all know, you all listen to Thursday Kids, so I've mentioned it repeatedly. I bloody love Andrew Lincoln. And for me, he is maybe the perfect man. I want to talk a little bit about what makes him such a lust-worthy option. So as Rick, as Andy, I'm going to come to you first, Ash. Tell me what it is about Andy Lincoln / Rick Grimes that makes it just the perfect kind of thirst.
Okay, I'm going to start with Andy because that's easier. Andy is kind. That is the simplest way to put it. He has the biggest heart, and it's clear in the way that he interacts with fans, his castmates, the way people speak about him. You know, it just makes him even more attractive than he already is to know that he's just a genuinely nice person. And I think that's what I'm attracted to most about him. Also that accent.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. So going to Rick, what do I like about Rick? I'm honestly not sure. That's really weird to say.
Okay. I'm going to move on to Kate. Do you like Rick Grimes? And what is it about Rick Grimes that you think is particularly swoonsome?
I like Rick because he has heart. He was a man that was thrust into this weird world, and he handled it as best he could with integrity. He was always thinking of other people. And then as we got into the season, we saw this change and this shift in him, moving a little bit more towards brutality, which I did not know was a thing that I appreciated. But as we saw a clip inside, which we thought it was going to be the iconic Rick tearing out a man's throat. Well, that's what we thought it was going to be. It wasn't, but that's what it should have been. And then that's when I was like, oh my God, what is this life that I have entered into? I also like his cowboy walk.
Tell me about the walk. What is it that makes the walk such an iconic walk?
It's the hips. It's the way the hips move. There is a swagger. There is an assuredness. You're just like, you know what you're doing. And I feel like you don't even know what you're doing to me. You're just walking, and I appreciate it. I have it on like boomerang, like back and forth. Like, it's amazing.
Do you think the walk is also part of the swag, Ash?
Absolutely. That was where I was headed. Yeah, his walk, the bow-legged gait, it does so much for me. I don't understand it because Andy walks differently. You notice that he literally changes the way he walks for Rick Grimes, and that's the sign of an amazing actor. But yeah, Rick Grimes' gait is everything.
Okay, so we talked about the bow legs, the gait. Can we talk a little bit about his beard? How do you feel about his beard, Kia?
Yes, the beard is an absolute transformation. I will admit that season 1, 2-ish Rick, I was like, I don't know what's happening. 3, especially 4, beard grew in, nice, thick. even with the completely white beard, there's just something about that frames his mouth that is particularly lovely, and it puts that emphasis on the pout. And I'm like, that's great. And that beard. Did you say it was like what is it for men?
Contour for men? Yeah, beard is definitely contour for men. Andy looks good either way. Andy does not need contour, but when he has it, oh my God. like you said, season 3, season 4, when it started to grow in, and when he cut it in season 5, that's also a marker of his sanity. So when Rick doesn't have a beard, you need to be worried. So when he has it, I feel like he's in a good place. He looks good. He's acting right. I feel like the beard is a marker of the Rick Grimes that I want to see in my life.
Perfect. Earlier, you mentioned something very specific, and that is Rick Grimes' mouth.
Yes.
Tell me what it is about his mouth. Because listen, no shade. He is a white man. He's not necessarily blessed abundantly, but there's something about Rick Grimes' mouth.
There is. It's pouty for a white man. I don't. I like the I'm really trying to think about it. I'm like on the spot now. I'm just really trying to envision it. And really, when I envision it, I basically envision it like kissing Michonne. And that is where I'm like, this is amazing. This mouth was built for this. I don't know that I paid attention to it before that relationship came into play. And then after that, I'm like, I know I didn't. I don't know. But after that, I'm like, this is amazing. This is the most perfect thing. It's made for her.
Oh, that's so true. I think the best thing about his mouth is that he knows how to use it. In 610, when he and Michonne get together, in those kisses, they're very... He knows what he's doing with full lips. Let me just put it that way. He uses them well. He is not, he's not as blessed as an eye, obviously. But he knew what to do with her.
I love it. This is the thirst. And my mouth is literally dry. I am so thirsty right now. Thank you, Kia. Thank you, Ash. This is your correspondent live from outside Madison Square Garden, thirsting out loud in public. So yeah, that was quite the conversation that I had, and you should absolutely check out the work of these people. Ashley is also known as Cake by the Pound, aka one of the Rishon fandom's brightest lights. She's a writer extraordinaire, and I love her. You can find her on Tumblr. And also Kia, who is the co-host along with Mel of the Walking Dead podcast called Two Dead Chicks. She's a great, dope podcaster, and it's a great podcast. And I just want to say thank you to them because they were great sports and allowed me to pepper them with questions to detail exactly how much they fancy Andrew Lincoln.
Well, Bim, it sounded like you had an amazing time talking with them. I'm sad that I missed that because watching you geek out last year at Comic-Con was one of the highlights of my year. And you were so like, oh no, people are looking at me. Someone can actually see me. It was just so sweet.
I am what I am, Nicole. I'm glad you weren't there either because your eyes would have been round as saucers. I was geeking out majorly.
It definitely would have gone into my BIM blackmail folder in my mind.
I know. I mean, listen, it's fine because I don't mind bearing my soul to you. Because, if I can't be honest and open with you, who the hell can I be honest and open with? And speaking of, we received an email, didn't we?
Yes. Things have been a little murky in the Thirst Aid Kit land, but we keep moving forward. And, what helps us move forward is getting emails and tweets and Tumblr messages, everything from our lovely thirst buckets who tell us how much Thirst Aid Kit means to them. And so we got an email from someone last week. It's just so moving. All right, here's this letter from Jess. Hi, Bim and Nicole. I know this is a bit long, but I do hope you read it. I've loved your show from the beginning. Actually, before the beginning, since I love both y'all when you would pop by another round. And I've never hit the subscribe button faster than I did when your announcement about this podcast first aired. Your voices are so unique and honest and hilarious, and I look forward to the new episode every single week. I've recommended the show to almost every single one of my friends, male, female, straight, LGBT, because beyond the thirst, which always makes me feel like I've trekked through a desert, You provide such important social commentary, and I appreciate all your efforts to be inclusive while acknowledging the space you occupy in the conversation. Also, your drabbles and redacted are straight fire.
Thanks, Jess.
I say all this not just to lob praise at you, although you deserve all of it and then more, but because this show has become a really important part of my life, and I wanted to share a story of a rather significant moment that it plays a role in. I'm a bi woman, and I've known it for a long time, but was never open about it. This past year was one of self-love as I closed out my 20s. I decided that I was going to shake off the stigma and expectations of others and fully embrace all parts of me. I rediscovered my love of fanfic, largely thanks to y'all, and through a combination of the incredible guests on your show, re-immersing myself in Tumblr, and writing fan fiction, I came to embrace my sexuality as well. It took me a long time to finally come out, and when I did, it was unplanned and I was more than a little drunk. The folks I came out to were wonderful and supportive, exactly what I hoped for, but I was still freaking out. Knowing who you are and, to steal a phrase from Bim, saying with your whole chest are two different things. I had finally talked the talk, but I hadn't prepared myself beyond that, and I was in a bit of a free fall. About 3 anxiety-filled days after coming out, I listened to your most recent episode at the time, Lee Pace, on my way home from work, and had to pull my car over because I was crying so hard. I don't usually follow celebrity news, so I had been unaware of his outing, but hearing his follow-up interview about it, after time and reflection, gave me so much peace. I'm a big believer in signs from the universe, and this was a huge one for me. I had said who I was, and the sky didn't fall down on me. The earth hadn't swallowed me up. Lightning didn't zap me. Unwittingly, your choice to release Lee's episode that week was the thing that lifted the boulder that was resting on my chest. Since that initial night, I've proudly said who I am to a lot of important people in my life, and I have not felt the same stress or anxiety since my first listen to that ep. I may or may not be on my 8th listen as I type this. So thank you. Thank you for bringing such joy to my life every week. Thank you for reigniting a love in me that I thought I had lost. Thank you for being part of my journey to self-love. Thank you for being the sign that let me know it was all going to be okay. I know that you are in a bit of limbo right now, but I hope that you are able to keep doing this show beyond this season. You have something special here. As long as you're talking, I'll be listening. So much love, Jess.
Listen. I read that and I burst into tears. I was in a train station on the Upper East Side and my eyes filled up with liquid because what a lovely, lovely letter that just warmed every cockle of my heart.
It's just, Jess, thank you so much. You didn't have to write us and tell us this. We are strangers.
Yeah.
But you really helped us. You really made our day.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Thank you.
We hope that things continue to blossom for you.
Amen. I love it. I'm so grateful. And like Nicole said at the top of this, receiving letters, voice notes, emails, all of that stuff, it's not to be all cheesy, but it is why we do and why we love and enjoy what we do so much. Like, it really is. It's a big part of it, because otherwise we're two people in a studio yelling into the abyss. And then you get, when the abyss calls back and it's like, oh, there are people in said abyss. And that's really lovely. And this letter, I think, has just been, what a thing to read about your show. It's my heart is full. So thank you so much. Just thank you to everyone who has ever written into Thursday Kid to tell us what we have meant or what we have done for you. It really, you can't understand how much it makes our day.
A lot of times people try to dismiss what we do as just two women talking about good-looking people. But obviously what we're doing is so much more than that. And we really, for those of you out there who understand what we're doing, we really appreciate you. So thank you so much for letting us know that.
And speaking of that, we also, at the same time that we got this amazing email from Jess, we got an amazing voice note from a listener that perhaps on the page does not appear to be the target audience for First Aid Kit. But this is just a fine illustration of the fact that First Aid Kit is for everybody.
Queer black man, 60 years of age, just found Thirst Aid Kit. I didn't even know I was thirsty. Y'all two sisters have wore me out. I can't even believe it. Anywho, I love everything. John Cho, Paul Newman, serious. I can't even believe it. Okay, so y'all have now the attention of a queer black man living in the state of Maine. Love you, Thursday Kid. Bye.
Well, we love you too, especially since you are probably by your lonesome in Maine, wherever you are. Bless your heart. But thank you so much.
Honestly. So joyful. So joyful. When when he said two sisters.
Yes.
I was like, oh, black love.
Yes.
I love black love. Like, that was just him reaching across and just kind of going, I hear you.
Yes.
And we want to say thank you for giving us your ears. And I'm so glad. I love also the way he giggled over Paul Newman because same. It's just wonderful. I mean, that's the shit right there.
Yeah, I mean, some people may not understand this, but people tend to forget that we are Black women, or they won't acknowledge that we are Black women. And so because we're talking about, a lot of different things and not necessarily Black subjects, right? Although we do talk about race and ethnicity and all of that. But for someone to recognize that we are Black women doing this is just, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
He said he's 60 years old.
Yep.
Like,
he's in the state of Maine. And I'm grateful that Thursday Kid does broadcast to Maine, because I feel like if he found it, he needed it. And like you said, he didn't even know he was thirsty, which I think is the way for so many of us. We don't even know how thirsty we are. And that's why Thursday Kid is here. You see that? That was a seamless plug. Thank you so much. Cheers. Cheers.
So if you want to send us a lovely email, let us know how much we mean to you, because we are never tired of hearing that. Never. And you can also make it a voice note and send it via email. You can just reach out to us at thirstaidkit@buzzfeed.com. Thirst Aid Kit is produced by us, Nicole Perkins and Bim Adewunmi, Julia Furlan, TK Dutest, and Camila Salazar, with assistance from Agaranesh Ashagre. Our music is by Tanya Morgan.
You can follow the show on Twitter. We are at First Aid Kit. We're also on Twitter individually at Tennessee Whiskey Woman. That's TN Whiskey with an E Woman, and Bim Adew, BIMADEW. You can follow the Strong Female Characters podcast on Twitter at Sci-Fi. That's SYFY. Fangirls. That's FANGRRLS Pod. That's Sci-Fi Fangirls Pod. You can find Ashley on Tumblr at cakebythepound.tumblr.com. That's cake-by-thepound.tumblr.com. And you can also find Two Dead Chicks on their Twitter, which is Two Dead Chicks. And you can also listen to the podcast wherever you get your podcasts.
We're on Tumblr at thirstaidkitpodcast.tumblr.com. You can come thirst with us over there. Send us some asks. We'll try to get to them. But, it's pretty busy over there.
It is. You can also leave us a voice message for our Thirst Sommelier service. Make sure it's brief, and you can call us on 765-884-4778. That's 7658 Thirst. Non-US listeners can send us a short voice note via email.
Please head over to Apple Podcasts to leave a review and rate the show. It helps other people discover Thirst Aid Kit, and we always, always, always love 5 stars.
Yes, we do. If you live tweet your listen, and a good number of you do, which we are always grateful for, please use the hashtag TACPOD. That's TAKPOD. And you can send us emails of love, affection, gratitude, lust even. It's up to you at thirstaidkit@buzzfeed.com.
As always, stay thirsty, friends.
Sip, sip.
Bye. Bye. Bye bye.
That's a sheep. That's a sheep.
Okay.
I just told you the sound. Goats go meh.
Oh no.
There
That's
you
a terrible
go.
sound.
It's a great sound. It's the greatest of all time. Hey.